This is really an important question to know and to deal with maybe Yemenis or other Muslims from other countries. When you know this, you will be able to deal with such matter with any Muslim. And this is the most important message of Islam. It is this monotheism. Monotheism is in Arabic called Tawheed. Monotheism is to believe that Allah is the only Lord for the whole universe. This is the first thing. As I said, Allah is the only Lord. No one beside Him. No one created like Him. All creations are given to Almighty Allah. No one can share Him in creation. He has the commandment, He has the creation, He has the kingdom. No one can share Him. All things, all creations are created. So no one has the ability to create anything. It's only for Almighty Allah who created the whole universe. So this is really very important to realize in your mind. If you realize this in your mind, you start to live in peace with Almighty Allah. You start to live in peace with other people around you and with the environment around you. So it's really very important to know this about Islamic culture in order to deal with other or Yemenis or Muslims. So this is the first meaning of monotheism. Okay? No one beside Almighty Allah created anything. The creation, the commandment, the kingdom are all for Almighty Allah. No one can share Him. No one can do anything in this matter. Okay. The second meaning of monotheism. To believe that none has the right to be worshipped but He. Almighty Allah created me. Almighty God created me, created you. He created every single person on this earth. He created also jinns and angels. And He ordered us to submit our will to His will. And not to submit to anybody else. We should leave any other deities. We should leave any other gods. It's only Allah. It's only God who has the right to be worshipped. We should worship Almighty Allah directly, without any mediator, without any associate. We don't go to any sheikh. We don't go to any scholar to tell him, oh, please take our prayer to Almighty Allah. No. When we start to worship Almighty Allah, to pray to Almighty Allah, we stand in front of Him, we face Him directly, with no mediator. And of course, taking a mediator or any associate in worship between us and Almighty Allah is considered polytheism, and it's considered, according to the Islamic understanding, is considered the biggest sin anyone can commit. Because when you take any mediator, when you take any associate between you and Almighty Allah, Almighty God, in your worship, you are saying, you are believing that this person is equal to Almighty Allah. That this person can create like Almighty Allah. That this person can do like Almighty Allah. He is a created person. He cannot benefit even himself. How can he benefit you? So, this is the second meaning of problem, and it's the most important, one of the most important meaning of the first message in Islam. And also, to believe in His names and attributes. Almighty Allah has beautiful names. You will see Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most gracious, the all-seer, the all-knowing. And you hear this from Yemenis. You say Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Aziz, Al-Ghafur, Al-Karim. You hear these words from the Yemenis. Especially when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, when you hear any Muslim or any Muslim during his prayer, or when we start to read anything, to start a lecture, to start a class, to start even when we start eating, he mentions the name, or two names of Almighty Allah. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. So, these are the beautiful names of Almighty Allah. And He has many beautiful names and many beautiful attributes. So, a Muslim should believe in these names. So, when you go to anyone, to the house of anyone in an invitation, and it's good for you to start the front of this Yemeni Muslim saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He or she becomes happy when you mention such words. So this is the three meanings of the first message in Islam. The first message in Islam is to submit your will to the will of Allah, with no mediators, with no associate. There is no true God but Allah, and none has the right to be worshipped except Him. And this message is the first message conveyed to people by all prophets. You will wonder, is this specific only for Muslims? Is this specific for only Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam? No, it is for all prophets and messengers. All prophets and messengers came to call their people to the oneness of Allah. There is no true God but Allah, and none has the right to worship except Him. This is the main message of every single prophet and messenger to their people. And this is well stressed in Quran. This is well stressed in Quran. For we assuredly send amongst the free people a prophet saying, worship Allah and avoid false gods. And avoid false gods. I would like to be really sincere. I would like you to be really sincere in your thinking about this point. Please be sincere. If you go and worship an idol, if you go and worship the sun, if you go and worship an animal, if you go and worship any created thing, please sincere, is this true? Is this really logical to worship any created thing? Is it logical? No, it is not logical. Because these things cannot bring any benefit to you. It's only Allah who created me and you can bring all benefits to us. When we call Him, He listens to us. When we worship Him, He sees us. He is closer to us than our jugular vein. He knows everything about us. We don't need anyone to be between us and Him. We just stand and pray, or call Him, immediately He responds to us. We no mediators at all. This is really what Almighty Allah wants from us. To only worship Him. Okay. In order to attain paradise and avoid hellfire, a person has to achieve benefits in his life and to come with it at death. Of course, Almighty Allah can forgive any sin, except this, to have any mediator between you or any associate between you and Almighty God. This is the biggest sin. And anyone come or lives with this and comes at death with this, he is not going to be saved. Only those who submitted their will to the will of Allah will be saved. And Almighty Allah will take them to the paradise, where eye hasn't seen, and ear hasn't heard of, and mind hasn't imagined. In paradise, there are things that you cannot imagine. You cannot imagine at all, as I said. And this reward, this big reward in paradise, is for the submission to Almighty Allah. Is for the real worship of Almighty Allah. Is for your action in this life. But your action according to the methodology of the prophethood, according to the methodology of the prophets and messengers, and Prophet Muhammad said, or his prophethood.